Good morning, my dear class. Today we are going to learn a story from your English book Movements, that is The Accidental Tourist, and it is written by Bill Bryson. Okay? So let us go with the introduction of the story. So this is a humorous story where the writer talks of some incidents where he acts very clumsy. He tries to behave in a sophisticated manner, but he is unable to do so and ends up spilling the drink, smearing his face with ink and creating a mess, a complete mess on the dining table. So my dear class, today we will discuss this story paragraph wise. Okay, in the first paragraph, the author says that he is not at all good at doing many works at the same time, at one time. Sometimes he is amazed at people who do multitasking without facing any difficulty. Many times he gets confused when he searches for the toilets in the cinema hall and lands up in a lane, and from where he cannot enter the hall. When he checks in the hotel, he forgets which room number and goes to the reception many times just to confirm the room number only. So in the second paragraph, the last time when he went on a family trip to England at Easter time, okay? So they reached the Logan Airport in Boston. The Logan Airport is there in Boston. He had recently subscribed to the frequent flyer program of the British Airways and had to get the card punched away the points. The card was in the bag that hung around his neck. As he had to take the card out, something happened. So what happened? So we will discuss in the next paragraph. So in this third paragraph, we will get many difficult words like yanked. Yanked means pulled with a jerk. Then next one, consternation. Consternation means anxiety, distress, like this. Next is birds. Birds means move. Then gave away. Gave away means opened suddenly. Then extravagantly. Here extravagantly means elaborately. Okay. Then ejected. Ejected means removed. So in the previous paragraph, as we talk about the zip, so that the bag's zip would not open and he pulled it with force. Then suddenly the bag opened with a jerk, and as he had used a lot of force, all the articles which were there in that bag flew out of the bag and were strewn across the floor. And they were thrown over the large area, and that area was as big as the size of the tennis court. In the next paragraph also we will get some difficult words like dumbstruck. Dumbstruck means completely shocked. Then fluttery. Fluttery means resembling flapping of the wings of the bird. Then that is concourse. Concourse means the open central area in a large public building. Here it is in the airport. Okay. So he was shocked. He was shocked to see that all the important documents that fly out of the bags, all the documents, while he opened the zip with the total force, then what happened? Everything rolled out. Everything rolled on the floor. So he was completely shocked. He was completely shocked to see all his important documents which fly out of the bag. The coins that rolled on the floor. The lid of the tobacco box came off and the box rolled on the floor. And the tobacco spilled completely. It spilled on the floor. Okay. So next in the fifth paragraph. In the fifth paragraph, we will get some difficult words like gassed. Gassed means cut. Then lavish. Lavish means in a large quantity. Meaning is here it is large quantity. Okay, as it was an expensive article. Means we are talking about the tobacco. He screamed that his tobacco was getting ruined. The next moment, he saw that he had cut on his finger and it was bleeding. So he screamed, changed to my finger. He again got confused and panicked from why he was shouting. Whether he was shouting for his tobacco or whether he was screaming for the finger. Expirations. Expirations means here irritation. So his wife looked at him and wondering at his strange behavior. She said that his worried behavior was completely unbelievable. It is completely unbelievable. Next, catastrophes. Catastrophes means tragedy or disaster. Next, clawing. Clawing means grasping. So the author always commits disasters while traveling. While traveling, he always commits disasters. Once on a flight, he leaned forward to tie his shoelace. When the person on the seat ahead of him put it in full recline, thus banging the author's head with the back of his seat. So he had to grab the leg of the passenger sitting next to him to come out of the fix. Okay. Prop means a portable object used on the set of a play or a movie. Then perch means place. So another air trip, he threw a drink on the lady sitting next to him. The flight attendant helped her clean up and got him another drink. He threw the second glass on her too. He was confused how it happened. Then he remembered that he watched helplessly as his arm acted, just like the prop used in old horror movies. Just like they moved unimaginably as his arm reached for the glass and swept it off without him instructing it to do so. So he was thinking and he was staring. Without his knowledge, all these type of disasters happening. And when the disasters were happening, he was completely hopeless. He was completely helpless. My dear students, the co-passenger was a nun. Okay, the co-passenger was a nun and the co-passenger was shocked at his behavior. The nun was completely shocked at his behavior. And what she did, you know, children? She cursed him. Okay? In this paragraph, you will get to difficult words like urban. Urban means sophisticated. And like bone smarts. Bone smarts means witty marks. So, leave it, children. The next, he had worst experience than these also. The worst one was when on a flight. Once he was in a flight. So he was making a to-do list and was sucking the end of his pen while thinking and also talking to a woman seated beside him. After 20 minutes, when he went to the toilet, he saw that the ink had leaked from his pen and his mouth also. Teeth, gums and chins were blue in color and they would remain stained for a couple of days. Means, in other words, you can say, children, he smeared the ink on his face. The author always wants to be sophisticated. He wants to leave the dining table very neat and clean and not make it appear untidy. Like he always does, children. He wants that when he sits in the car, he should not leave the sleeve of his coat stuck in the door. He should not stain his light colored trouser with things like gum, like ice, cream, cough syrup, and motor oil, all these things. But he is unable to be like that. So he always wants to be sophisticated. He always wants everything should be neat and clean and completely tidy. But he was unable to do all kind of things. So he was there on the air in an aeroplane, children. Now when they are served meals on the air trip, his wife asked the children to cover their heads with the hood to save themselves from the mess that will create while eating. When he travels alone, he does not eat, drink or bend to tie his shoelaces because already he faced many difficulties on his traveling. So he does not even get the pen near his mouth also, children, because he smeared all the ink on his face. So he sits very quietly and keeps his hands under him to prevent them from moving here and there, children. So he does not enjoy sitting like that, but it helps him by saving the laundry expenditure. You know, children, every time, whenever he traveled on air, every time he had to give much money to the laundry. Next, he never gets the frequent 5 miles, children, because he is unable to find his card. All his acquaintances that fly to Bali with these points, but although he has flown in 23 airlines, he has managed only 212 air miles. Either he forgets to ask for the air miles at check, or the manager does not record them, or he is told that he is not entitled to any points. So he travelled to Australia in January and could have earned a lot of points for it. But the clerk refused to give him the points. So she reasoned that the card and the air ticket had different names on them. So here the writer tried to explain that both were one person, but she did not accept his argument, children. He did not got the air miles and would not travel to Bali free of cost. He takes it positively and feels good because he would not have been able to remain without eating on such a long flight. So next, the theme of the story. So what is the theme of the story? This story, The Accidental Tourist, is based on the theme that it is important to be well planned and organized while traveling. So in the absence of preparation before setting off, the traveler is bound to encounter accidents. Bill Bryson carried jumbled articles in his bag while traveling, and in this process misplaced the most important one. He would fumble even while carrying out the simplest task also, and would end up causing some clumsy. That one should have the humility to admit one's shortcomings. Bryson's ability to laugh at himself and see his action in a lighter vein helped him to overcome embarrassment. This cheerful temperament kept him content, and he never felt jealous of others. Not all of us can do things properly in everyday's life. We find it hard to carry out even some simple tasks also. The narrator, Bill Bryson, finds himself in such a situation. Some people also find traveling a difficult task to accomplish. They find it hard to locate places, to use their digital cards, secure their things, etc. They say that the world today is a small place because now it is easy to travel from one place to another by different modes of transport. But not everybody finds it easy to travel. So next, the title of the story. So here the title, The Accidental Tourist. It suggests that the story is about a tourist who is accidental, means that is find himself involved in difficult or embarrassing situations as a tourist. On reading the text, one finds that the tourist Bill Bryson travels frequently but ends up causing one of the other accident every time. He does not learn from his mistakes and keeps repeating the same mistakes. He forgets to place his frequent flyer card at the proper place. He spills drinks while extending his hat to get one, leaves a big part of his coat outside while closing the door of the car. Smirks his light colored trousers. So many times over without realizing it, and many such ordinary things cannot be handled by him without making a mess of them. So the title, The Accidental Tourist is thus apt because it is amusing to see Bryson getting frequently into accidents at a time when traveling is so easy, but that it is made the world a small place. So we will get a nice message from this story. So the story gives us the message that one should be mature enough to laugh at one's own faults. So the temperament not only easy means in the situations, in the tense situation, but helps up to move on the more important things. So Bryson makes up for his lack of grace and confused behavior by mocking at himself. This not only makes his story funny, but also provides comfort, as it is normal for all of us to make mistakes. So living in the real world can be confusing for some people like Bryson. However, they can draw joy even from the confusion and let others to laugh along with them. Okay? This lesson again it gives us a message that everyone can cope with the changes that takes place in this modern day life. Some people can easily adjust to the changes while others cannot. Some people are very skillful in doing things while others are not. This problem can take a worse turn during traveling. The narrator of the story, Bill Bryson, finds it hard to do things in a smart manner while he was traveling. So he is confused and cannot remember the number of his hotel room also. So it is better to us to use our sense of humor and adjust to the situation rather than getting troubled by it. So I hope, my dear students, you have understood this story.